All right, what's going on, everybody? It is Tuesday, August 1st, and last night was pretty good. The only pair that actually didn't do what I wanted it to do was NZD Chief, which is fine. I wasn't really paying attention to it anyway. I was more focused on the one pair, GBP NZD, which did exactly what we talked about in the ranging. So I was talking about how it's on a 4-hour, 1-hour range. I bought it right down here, and it shot right up to the take profit zone. It was actually right here, and I took profit a little bit earlier, but it ended up finishing that move. So it was a perfect play out. It might continue up a little bit, but it's in that part where I don't really want to touch it for a buy. And then all the JPY pairs pretty much did the exact same thing. They all just continued. In the example I gave, it was just a continuation in one direction. They did the same thing, pushed up. Same thing with GJ. GJ just kind of consolidated. CADJPY, what this one ended up doing, it either shot up or consolidated, and which is fine, but I wasn't really focused on that. GBP NZD was the pair last night. So we're gonna see what we have going on for tonight to see what's gonna be the best setup, and if there even is anything, because it is Tuesday, so midweek reversal is gonna be coming up, but well, it's technically Wednesday, but you know what I mean. So let's get started. AUD Chief. All right. Go to this. AUD CHF. Well, actually, hold on. Look at that. UJ's in that zone that I went over 2 days ago. I actually continued. I was like, it's going to continue up, and it's in that box right now. So if this is going to do a reversal, it's going to do it over the next day or so. Meaning we could see a setup where it kind of just and then throws down. So I'm going to see how it reacts off here on the 4-hour, because based on how the 4-hour reacts, it's either going to break through to here and then look for a drop, break through past it, retest and continuation, or break through it, double bounce drop. We got 3 options. So we're going to see what it does. But let me go down to AUD Chief. AUD Chief. Damn it. AUD Chief. I want it to be bullish on this, but it still hasn't broke. So I think that's one thing I was talking about the other night. It was Sunday, where it had a peak formation low right here, and oh, this is the 4-hour. My fault. This isn't correct. I gotta go to the 1-hour. Let me see where I'm at. So this was last night. This is Sunday, Monday. So yeah, it was true. It was around here, and I was like, even though it looks good for a buy, I was like, I need to see it to break here first, because it could go up to there in reverse, and pretty much exactly played out that way, because there wasn't a clear break. There needs to be an obvious break for this to be some sort of reversal, in which case it looks like it's just setting up for some sort of consolidation. So I'm not really profound on this specific pair. It's more so it's saying it's a peak formation high, it's already at a low, looks like a double bottom. It's not my setup, right? So we're not going to really touch this pair right now. This could continue down. If we go down to the weekly looks like it wants to continue down. There's still room from over here from what, 2020. So it's gonna be good. Now we have, let me go to the 4-hour. Just want to see if there's any support resistance. Yeah, there at the daily. Yeah, I'm not touching this. We'll just leave it alone. It's not the best pair. Gold. So gold played out the way we wanted it to. It continued straight down, which was great. We wanted it to continue down for a sell. That was the other pair that did exactly what we wanted it to do. Now we just got to see where exactly it's going to go down. All right. Got 1 hour and the 4-hour and the daily. Let's go to the daily. This trend line still holds true. So does this one. We don't need this. It broke through this trend line. And usually when it does that, it tends to continue, or it's getting ready for some sort of channel, right? So this is no longer valid. this makes more sense than this currently, right? So we got a 4-hour channel going on that it could continue where it goes down a little bit farther and then shoots back up again. So I'm staying on that aspect. But it is starting to make lower lows, lower highs, right? So if this is true, then we'll see it drop and then continue. Or if it wants to act funny because of how the EMAs are tight right there, we want to potentially see it go back up first and then drop. Just because I drew a channel doesn't mean it has to go down and touch this right this second. It could shoot up first, hit that for a third time, then drop. So we just got to, keep an eye out for what it is that it's going to be doing. Daily, go down to the 1 hour. We have daily resistance up top, which it hit yesterday and then wicked off of. So it definitely is good for that. Let me just see how it played out on the actual daily. Here, it's in an imbalance as we speak. Then one big imbalance here, and that's what it filled it up 2 days ago. Yeah, I'm kind of just like, I want to say it's going to continue down overall because we do have a shift here with that break of structure down to the low, the change of character. So this was the pullback. So I'm still bearish on this. It's just not my setup at the moment. So if anything, stay bearish on gold. Don't really look for any buy and prepare for it to be some sort of consolidation. So your best bet is wait for it to shoot up a little bit higher and then look for your selling point. This is a New York pair, so sometimes it won't make its move right now. It's too soon. It can. I mean, you could have actually sold it yesterday at the top of Asian session here and just held it. But I mean, you're not going to just sit there and rely on that every single time. So I would say be patient, wait for a setup, look for it to push up a little bit higher, and then we can overall look for sells. All right. Now let's go to the next one, USDCAD. Oh, I've been waiting for this pair. Let's go to, do I have it? Okay. That's a 5-minute. What the hell? A lot of choppiness, but I mean, last night it finally broke out of its little consolidation. Let me go to the daily. It looks like a bigger formation's happening right now. When the choppiness is on the lower time frames, go to the higher. Go to the higher time frames. Now, this is a low, that's a low. This is hitting the 61.8. So this is exactly what it's playing out exactly the way I wanted it to. I have the fibs drawn here from the other when we drew it up the last week, and I said I needed it to go up to the daily 50, and that's currently what it's doing right now. Which I'm actually gonna get rid of this. I don't use the 38.2 anymore. So it went up to the 61.8 and bounced off the 50, but at the same time, it's not divergent. It's not hidden. There's no hidden divergence. So what this means is I think this is going to continue up. And since this is a peak formation low, I believe we're going to see a continuation, right? So this could be a reversal that's happening. If that's the case, then I don't think this is valid anymore. And now all we have to do is look for an ideal entry that lines up with what we're looking for. I've tended to stay on the 4-hour. They have a formation here, but here's the problem. There's no hidden divergence yet. Let me see. I've been liking how the 4-hour sets up the most. So we're going to see this probably pull back down to here. Go from here to here. If it drops down to the 61.8 area where the imbalances are, we have the daily resistance at the same time, right? So you have daily resistance, 4-hour daily support, 4-hour support. The 50 EMA is there on the 4-hour. I like it. It's got a big push on the 4-hour. if usually I would say let's enter in on a 1 hour, but I mean the higher time frames have been doing me really well. So ultimately, I'm gonna wait for a push down so it can come back and fill this. And on top of that, look at that. This daily resist support and the 4-hour support are also matched up with the supply and demand right here. Right? A little shift, a little pause down. That's a supply and demand zone. So it all overlaps. It's at the exact point. I'm waiting for it to drop here, and then we'll be looking for buying potential. So USD CAD is bullish. CAD. Okay. For the next one, GA. Oh, I just got rid of that pair. Okay, what do we got here? This isn't necessary. Go down. Consolidating. Let's go to the 4-hour. That's a wick. Oh, that's a continuation. I think GA is going to continue up, guys. So far, we have a fat wick, and the way that the weekly close last week was great. So I think we're bullish. And what is it for? T formation low? Yeah, I believe we're bullish. Now, just because I say that now doesn't mean it can't drop real quick, but I think our best bet is to wait for it to drop. Now, let's see where we're at if we go down to these lows, right? So if we go down to this low, we're right here. This was the last shift, right? Boom. Goes a little bit below supply and demand zone that's on the 1 hour. Right there, right? Got the 4. Got any imbalances? Of course, imbalances there. Imbalances there. So clearly, if we're going to do anything, it needs to drop first. The only issue is it's just not the same. It's not the right pattern that I look for. So I'm actually not going to touch this pair. So if you guys want to, I mean, then you obviously can just wait for it to drop, see what it does in the zone. If it breaks it, it's going to continue down to the low. Most likely going to come down to this trend line, but we'll see. I'm not really focused on it. There's going to be other setups. All right, NZD USD. A lot of stuff going on here. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. Gotta answer this. Um, because of C3. Okay. Sorry about that. I had to take care of that. Weekly. Looks bearish overall. Just how it bounced off of that. Yeah, everything's saying bearishness. And what's it for? Peak formation high. I like how it bounced off this 4 hours resistance here. I still believe we're bearish because it came down, it broke the structure down to the side here. Didn't break this main one yet, but we still have a continued pattern. We have a clear trend line going down from here to there, right? And then we have a channel which looks like it's forming from here to here. So if anything, we're gonna continue. It's kind of like gold. So we just gotta, be careful with what we're doing. This actually might continue up to here. I like this one a little bit more. Just because it has more points of reference. 1, 2, 3. That's cool. Let's see. It's not my setup, obviously. It's if you ever see the EMAs really tight, it's a hit or miss, right? And that's when people start trying to force setups. Right now, the EMAs are tight, but overall, we are bearish. So I'm gonna just say stick to the bearish side. I wouldn't really buy this right now. There's too much momentum going downwards for this. So let's look for some sort of stop hunt high, and then we can look for that sell. I'm not going to put this down in the chart because I don't think this is the best setup, but ultimately we are going to be bearish to continue with this overall channel that we have going on. All right. And on top of that, we have, and on top of that, look at that. It's on daily support. So it looks like it's going to be doing something like this, where it touches and just consolidates for a minute before dropping again. So just got to be careful. Now let's go to Euro NZD. I don't know if I'm going to trade this pair either. Oh, it shot up last night. Look at that. I mean, that's the 5-minute, but. And this is a what? Peak formation 2 days? So it'd be 1, 2. That wasn't there yesterday. So this was a peak formation high. I said I didn't really like it because I thought it can go back up in NZD pairs. If I traded GBP NZD, that's exactly what it did. But at the same time, it's too choppy. Well, it's not like if you think about it, like it's not choppy, like it's clearly going up and down, but there's no direction. You know what I mean? Like there's what's to stop this from going straight back down again? And then it's that little thought process that gets me to not want to touch it. So it's just something that we got to be careful on and just got to be disciplined with. It looks like there's some sort of a trend line here, right? Yeah, and it looks like something like this too. Like widening out. Not my favorite thing. I don't like that because it's not stable. It's like sporadically getting more unstable. But yeah, I'm just not going to touch this pair, guys. Better setups, always a better setup. Go to Euro AUD. And this is the type of stuff you got to be doing. You got to like look at a pair and not try to force it because somebody else made money on it or whatever. You got to look at it and determine whether or not it's even worth your energy. Because if you put too much energy into something that's not going to work, you're going to start hating Forex. 4-hour. This one just broke the high. So ultimately what I want to see is it pull back. I mean, that's just the next thing. It has a break of structure. So every time it has a break of structure, it reverses. So just because of that alone, my mind's saying look for sells. But it would be going against the short-term trend right now. Go back to the 4-hour. Oh, this is a bigger time frame. I don't need that. Yeah, if you're gonna trade this, just be prepared. It's crazy, but I think we're gonna see it drop tonight, guys. And this is just tonight, all right? And I don't think there's any news. Today is the first. There's USD news at 8:15, but nothing crazy. So I'm gonna say just look for sells on this if you're gonna trade it, but get out at like points of support. Like look at recent structure. I got a 4-hour support right here. And you have some 1-hour supports down here, and you got supply and demand zones that got filled, but just use your discernment. So we got Euro AUD. Sorry, he's sending it. No fees. Jesus. Sorry, got my wisdom screaming outside the door. Okay. So we got here IED. I wonder if it's no. Okay. USD. We kind of went over USDJPY a little bit. USDJPY. So I got a lot going on over here, so like my mind is all over the place, but I am focused on this at the same time. Multitasking. We're about to move tomorrow, so I'm not gonna have my mind on the charts. Most likely not even gonna trade tonight, honestly. I'm just doing this because I need to get this content out for everybody. So, whoa, is that the daily? Yeah, look at that. Okay, cool. So I hit up that zone. I'd say let's get ready for something. I mean, I still think it's gonna rise up, to be honest, to match up with this part, but we got to see because it's in a specific point where I would say let's look for a reversal, but it could also break right through it. And right now, I don't see any solid confirmations that say let's look for sells. I mean, I need to see a solid break, right? So, like I said before, right at the beginning, was that if we want to see this for a sell, we need to see price break beneath this 50 and also break this low. Once it does that, then it's going to pull back around to this 50, match it, and it's going to go back down to the next level, next support, resistance, whatever it is. So I would say just wait. All right. I don't want to jump into this yet because it's at a point where it can keep going up, just based off what the higher time frames are showing. Shit. So yeah, just gotta be patient. Like this could literally go up right here, and I'm on the weekly. It could blow past this if it really wanted to. And UJ is one of those pairs where it will continue, like I was telling you guys before. So it's just let's see it, right? Because we're not missing out right here. You're not missing out, I promise. If this does drop, it's gonna drop all the way back down. You're gonna be able to catch another day of it. So let's just see how it plays out. Maybe the news will do something. Let's go to GJ. Okay. Okay. GJ. Sorry. Like I said, I'm distracted. GJ. What we got here? Okay, so we have that break, like I was saying before. And if this is a reversal, it'll follow suit with UJ. So UJ could continue. They don't always have to match up, to a T. But if the JPY is specifically weaker than all the other currencies, it will tend to make all the JPY pairs move in one specific location. Ideally, because of this break right here and the break of the trend line, what the basic thing to look for would be a retest. So like you need to see it drop, you need to see it come back down, and then we can look for a re-entry there. Now I'm not going to base it off of this low. It's probably going to be off of the little pivot right here. So if we do that little pivot and this chart loads, so we got this area right here, this area, but it also at the same time could continue because it's bouncing off that 50 EMA like it's nothing. So ideally, and we got imbalance right here. We have a bunch of trapped liquidity right here. So my mind is saying let's wait for a pullback and then we can start looking for bullishness again. So wait for it to drop. and then we're going to start looking for buys. So GJ is bullish overall, but could drop tonight, right? So I say that because some people probably see my pairs that I'm saying are bullish or bearish for the night, and then they just expect it to just, oh, he said it's bearish. Well, you missed the context because I'm saying it's bearish overall, but that means it could go up first before it drops. So I'm making that clear for anybody that does see this. Like, don't just see what I say as bullish or bearish and they just think buys right there. Expect it to go in the opposite direction first for a stop hunt, and then we can then make a certain decision on what direction we want to go with it. So now let's go and check out GN. Ooh, it's probably the same thing. Did the same thing last night. It might just stay ranging. So it's just a matter of, yeah, this is the trade I took. I'm not touching it. I mean, it already made its move. It's an uptrend. That's another reason why I really like to buy it, because it was already going up and it could tank, but it also could finally break out. So I'm not going to be the one to take that. So we're not touching it. CADJPY. This is probably going to be the same thing. Not really touching a lot of pairs. I like USDCAD a lot. EA was kind of okay. It wasn't the best setup. Gold looked good. Just need to see a stop hunt. Yeah, this is the same thing as GJ. I'm gonna look for a pullback, and then a rise back up. Or if this is like UJ, then we'll see something where it decides to come all the way back down, and it'll start a new channel like this. You know, it could do something like that. So I can draw out the parameters of what that channel might end up becoming. That's too far. So you got one area there. But what I can say is that no matter what, if this is going to continue up or if this is going to go down, it's first thing is it needs a drop. So wait for that, and then we'll see what we can do. So I'm going to say we're overall at the moment, just because of the break here, we're overall bullish, and we should be looking for buys on CADJPY. CADJ. I'll do a couple more, and then we're going to hop off for the rest of the night, and I'll see you guys next week. So 80 CAD. This didn't actually pay out the way I wanted it to. Don't need that. Ooh, there's that trend line right here. That's from the daily or potentially the weekly. Oh, that's the weekly, man. Look at that. Perfect setup. Didn't touch it yet, but it's definitely going to. So I'm staying bearish. It could maintain this trend line right here. This is the 1 hour one. It's not my favorite. Don't like to force them. This feels better right there. You just got to find what feels better. If you try to force something like this, it just doesn't, like, ugh, it just looks ugly, you know? This looks and flows better, so I'm keeping it like that. Now, this could go up, so we're most likely going to see it go up. And then probably come back down. So I'm going to wait for that before I give it a clear destination. I want to see what it does in this zone. Because if we actually draw this up, it looks like there's 1 hour, 4 hour, and then potentially daily. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. So let's see it push up first, stop hunt high, and then we're going to remain bearish on AD CAD. maybe bullish tonight. See, this is the parts I'm conflicted on. So the fact that I'm conflicted, we're gonna wait. I personally want to see it drop to hit here. Right. So once it hits here at that low, then I'll give you some solid information. Until then, I'm not touching it. So I'll do one more pair while we still have a little bit of time. Let's see. Where's my mind calling me to? NZDCAD. Okay. Or clear as day, so more bearish at least, I should say. 4 hour. Oh yeah. It's been maintaining. This thing's got to drop still. So we're looking for bearishness on this. Let's see. Come on. All right. Yeah, just maintain the structure that it's moving in right now. It's moving downwards, so the best bet is to late capture as it pulls back, and you can probably capture like 35 pips on this, which is solid for NZD-CAD. Doesn't move too fast, but either stop hunt high for a sell or we already missed it. And then what happens is if it drops down to here, it doesn't break it, we can look for buying potential. And I say that because or it's gonna not just bounce off here, it might bounce off here and continue. Right? You just gotta be careful. I would wait personally until it drops a little bit more, then see what it does, because we can actually get in or wait for Wednesday or Thursday to pop around for it to drop down, bounce off, and we can kind of grab this move if it does decide to go up. Or if it decides to shoot up higher, you can then grab it to then come right back down again. So just wait, see what it gives you, and then once we have a solid area, which most likely will be around this area, we'll have a direction. All right. So I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna upload it, and this will be the last time I'm posting this week. I'll still be in the groups talking, but I'm not gonna do an analysis because my mind's gonna be focused on driving and getting into a new place. So I will talk to you guys in the groups, and if you guys have questions, obviously ask away, and I'll answer them when I can. Peace out.